Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ridgeway Pod. I'm your host, Udoy, with my co host, Ush. Hello, Ush.
So,
We're just two guys that have lots of opinions on a lot of things, especially sports. And so we've created this platform to share our thoughts on various sports leagues that we're very interested in, such as the NBA, the NFL, various soccer leagues all across the world, including the Premier League. And yeah, we hope you guys all enjoy this journey that we've just begun. So, welcome.
welcome, guys. Today the NBA regular season just ended, so we got a couple topics that we want to tackle. The first topic we're going to be talking about is our regular season recap. So, how we felt about teams, what teams surprised us, what teams didn't surprise us, what teams that disappointed us. So let's start from
Hmm.
there. So we'll start from the Eastern Conference. The first seed in the Eastern Conference, obviously the Boston Celtics. I don't think they're really much of a surprise this season. I kind of coming into this season, I kind of knew that they were going to be that good. I didn't think they're going to get 64 wins, good, but they're
Yeah.
like they're like 15 games clear of the entire East. But I kind of expected them to be that good, especially after the Porzingis signing and then the Drew Holiday trade, which I'm not a
Hmm.
big fan of Drew Holiday, but he's just the fourth best player on the team. He's going to be really good on it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Boston Celtics, when they came into this league, I thought that, I mean, sorry, into this season, I thought that, yeah, top two, top three seed, went to the finals a couple years ago. They're always in the mix, conference finals. That's Jason Tatum's MO. But the way they played, it was like the joke of them being a super team. They played like one though. Like they, they
100%.
they straight up played like one. And but it's funny because 64 wins, it's crazy, it's a lot. But it reminds me of like back in the days with like LeBron's first stint with the Cavs, where it's like 62 wins, 66 wins, and it's just like, yeah, I was in a super
I
team, but
think this
like
is the first
I
60
just
win
remembered.
team
Yeah,
since the 2018 Rockets. I think that's the last time they
that's
had a 60
crazy.
win team. I
That
think that
that's
before
crazy.
that it
Yeah.
was like the 59 win Raptors
Mm,
in
yeah.
2016, I think, or something like that. I think that was the
Some
last
yeah.
60
So
win team in the
this
East. I
that's
think that was.
remarkable. Like,
Yeah, it's
remember
nuts.
2016, 73 and 9 and all that?
Yeah.
Insane.
No,
So but
six.
then
Yeah,
after
60 wins
everyone
is so
always,
impressive.
yeah, and you just think like 73 and then everyone's always stuck there, right? Like cuz that was such a remarkable feat. But like 60 plus is an insane thing, and no, like their team is so complete. Yes, they have a little bit of a flaw, like for example, like but it happens in game. For example, falling in love with a three-point shot too much, and then
Mhm.
it's like we're gonna three-point shoot ourselves back into the game.
Mhm.
It could work, it could not work. Yeah, but they're a solid team. They're a scary team. Eastern Conference, man. Like you're about to go probably talk about the second seed, which funny enough we saw today live when I mean sorry when
Yeah.
we watched
Well,
them play, and
they just took the second seed.
they
Actually,
just took it because I was
they
thinking about
just
the
took
Bucks.
it. They're like the
Yeah,
fifth seed the entire year, and they
all of
just
a sudden,
stole the second seed, the New York
yeah.
Knicks.
So
Which, like, yeah,
we got
go
some
ahead, go ahead.
drama in the East
Mm.
because this whole year we were just like, oh, it's Boston and everyone else. But then, yeah, it's still Boston, but the everyone else got a little spicy, which is the New York Knicks taking the second seed, and yeah, them and the Bucks I think are like one game apart.
Bucks is the third seed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
honestly, the
insane.
Knicks, like the season that they had, like I don't think they're winning shit. I don't think they're winning anything. Sorry, but like
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, hats off. Like he should definitely be like, if we're gonna be talking about our NBA awards later, but he's definitely was in that mix. Obviously, he's not gonna win MVP, but he was definitely in that mix for this season, especially with
Yeah.
all the injuries they went through. Like I think
Yep. Yep.
Randall was out for like 20 plus games. I think
Yeah.
what's his name? OG Ananobi was out 20 plus games.
OJ.
Even
Yeah.
after the trade, like he was
No,
gone for a
and then the
while.
trade also, right? Because you had
Yeah,
Barrett and it's a lot of
yeah.
rotation,
And then
and
do you have the
yeah.
terrorist coach that plays you 57 minutes a game? So
Mm.
that dude like kills people. So Jalen Brunson, like, hats off with his little
No,
finger. He
and
thinks he's Suarez or whatever.
yeah,
His
with
little,
the
yeah, he had a
with the
crazy
rap,
season.
yeah, Benzema, yeah.
I think he's top five. I think he's like Let me see how much he averaged. Yeah, he's third. He's fourth in points per game this season.
That's wow.
At
To
28 points per game, it's insane, and just an insane season.
to think that him and Luca were on the same team, and it's like, yeah, fourth and first in points
Yeah,
per
dude.
game. Like,
If he goes farther than Luca and us,
whew,
bro, people are gonna have some crazy dialogue.
that's yeah,
Um,
same draft class too. So it's funny.
all right.
No, the Knicks did good.
Yeah,
They're a sick. They're
solid.
awesome, but I
Yeah.
don't know how far they're gonna go.
Honestly, this is the best Knicks
Which we'll get
team
into.
I think since like maybe the 2013 one or 2012 one
Oh yeah,
with the Mello and
Melo.
JR and all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if JR's on the
Where
team,
they
but yeah.
lose to Miami in the like first or second round or
Second
something,
round,
eh?
I think
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. That was a
You lose to
crazy
the
team. That
Heat.
was a crazy team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
All right.
solid. And
And
I
then
feel
the
like the same
next,
thing is gonna happen. Like when they're
yeah,
sick,
probably,
they're
probably.
fun to watch.
A great fun team,
You get
but
behind them, and then it's like, yeah, okay, man.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Thanks,
And
thanks.
then
Okay.
so then the third seed, which there was a second seed all year, and then I say they ducked the smoke with Miami or Philly.
Philly, yeah,
The
yeah.
Bucks, the Bucks are the third seed. They had the weirdest season I think like ever. Like you can go
Yeah.
to some of the West teams, maybe like the Warriors and the Lakers had some weird seasons, but the Bucks in the East, easily the weirdest season ever. They're 31-13 or something
Mhm.
like that, going like,
Yeah,
and then they fire their coach because Giannis is like, I don't like this guy. I want Doc Rivers. I don't know. We don't
yeah.
know all the details, but
We have
that's
no
the gist
sources,
of
but
it.
we can infer. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like him. You know, he wanted Doc. I don't know. I don't know why he
Yeah.
wanted Doc Rivers. Don't know what what
Mhm.
he does anymore, but they still finished 49-33, which is solid season. They're the third seed.
Yeah.
Giannis again, another MVP season. The
Mhm.
real talking point of this season though was Dame, because
Yeah.
honestly, we're not sure what kind of Dame we're gonna get in the playoffs. But this season he's been
Yeah.
so hot and cold,
Mhm.
where like, you know, who knows what we're gonna get.
Yeah, no, with Dame Lillard, it's like it's unfortunate because he obviously had the injury, I think, last year, and
Mhm.
it's just been like it was kind of going downhill. You're removed,
Yeah,
but
my bad.
no,
I was just pulling up stats.
no worries. No, so for Dame, like you do the trade, you finally have like a player that's better than you on your own team, which is like, oh yeah, what else you can ask for? Like all these
Yeah,
years,
like
we're
he
like
actually has a team now. You
we
know.
have a
Yeah.
team and teammate that's like
Mhm.
top 20 player all time or whatever, all the statistics and accolades that Giannis brings. And it's like, oh, you just gotta close the game, bro. Like just when we get
Yeah,
down to
that's
crunch
all
time,
anybody was
when
saying.
Giannis, remember last year in the playoffs when they win the tip off and he just throws
Oh
it out of
yeah,
bounds.
he tried to
Yeah,
get it to Middleton so fast, and then he threw it out of
yeah,
bounds.
yeah, you solve that problem. You just give it to
Yeah,
Dame and get out of the way. But then it was such a weird year. It's like, is it his personal stuff? Is it just his injuries are
oh
nagging and he's
yeah.
getting over the hill?
His personal
Um,
stuff is really
yeah, like no,
worse.
like mentally, is it
Also living
bothering?
in Milwaukee, we've been there. It's boring as fuck.
There's not a lot to do for him, but I've
Yeah.
never been to Portland, so I can't compare. But like, yeah, no. So that's what's unfortunate because I was thinking like it's a solid. You have a not like Shaq and Kobe, but you have a guard and a wing, a guard and a big
100%.
man. Yeah, the
100%.
pick and
And
roll, pick and
it's not
roll.
like their
But
roster is terrible. Like
oh
I always say, any
no,
roster that employs Jay Crowder is not winning anything, but it's still like a decent roster, especially with Giannis, Bobby Portis, Brooke Lopez. Even though he's getting older, I think they
mm,
have the Pat Connaughton.
mhm.
What's his name?
They have
Malik
Pat Bev
Beasley.
or like did they have
They
Pat Bev?
traded for Pat Bev.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
now, which okay,
Yeah,
I guess.
like it's a team, it's a
They,
squad, and you have
uh,
Giannis and Dame, so you don't need like a crazy amount after that. You shouldn't need a crazy amount after that. Like boom, let's get rolling. And
you know
it was
what's
such a weird year. With the what you described with the coaching fire, like it's kind of like when LeBron and the David Blatt situation in
yeah.
2015 or something. Yeah, I think so.
You know
So
what's
like,
insane
I mean,
though?
Giannis can do that,
If
but
you think about it, like if you look at his stats this season, I'm just looking at it right now.
Lillard,
24 a game, yeah,
yeah,
24 a game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. But he shot 42% from the field and 35% from three. Like Dame's
yeah,
like career,
that's
he's not like some
yeah,
43% shooter or something, but like it's
yeah,
like the inefficiency is crazy, especially
right.
playing with Giannis as much as he did. I don't think they played like all 82 games together, but they definitely played more than 50% of the games this season together, and
Yeah.
that's how it worked out. And then you look at Giannis's stats this season, crazy numbers.
Mm.
30, 36 and 11 on
Yeah.
61%
That was
shooting.
insane.
He played 73 games, insane.
Yeah.
Like, so
And
they
no, so
only missed 10 games each. It felt like a
yeah,
lot of games, but they
you
only
felt like a lot.
Giannis Giannis had played 73 and then
Yeah.
Dame played 72 games. But
No, the thing about Dame though, like just to finish off this Milwaukee segment, I guess, it's like it's like some people are saying that like, oh, maybe he's holding it in, like just to filling up his tank for the playoff run. And just he's just, you just need to win 4 games this year. It's easier said than done, and just boom. And then there were games where Dame showed, like that Clippers game. Remember, like
oh
where
yeah, he went
without
crazy.
Giannis, he's crazy
Yeah.
closed everything. It was Dame time and all that stuff. And then there's Giannis and is it like, oh, with his injuries, right? Like
Mhm.
those are the two concerns. Is Dame gonna be Dame? And when the lights are shining the brightest, like you're gonna be in those stages, and which he used to show, like not too long ago. And is Giannis' Achilles okay, man? Because he keeps falling and nobody's touching
He
him.
tried, yeah.
That is scary.
That was
So
crazy. 2 games after the season, he starts walking after an inbound just drops.
okay, so
Oh, that's
that's
insane.
what they gotta watch out for. So that's the top three
And
right
then
there.
and then we got the 4 seed, which is the
Yeah,
Cavs.
which you
Like,
have a special place in
which
your
is
heart.
that's
Yeah,
my
it's your
that's my
dogs.
golden child. That's my team,
Yeah,
like
lot
my
of history
hometown
invested there.
fave, just because
Yeah,
I've been there for 21 years or whatever 15 years Braun played or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they are the 4 seed, 48 and 34. All these guys have like 1 or 2 losses in between each
It's
other. They're
interesting.
all
Yeah,
from the 6 from actually if you look at it from the 8th seed to the 2 seed,
true.
they're
Yeah,
separated by 4 games.
yep,
It's
yep.
kind of nuts. There's only one other team. Knicks have 50 wins, and then everybody's at
Hmm.
49 to 47, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Um, the Cavs this season is such a weird season because the Cavs started out like garbage. They're like whatever, and then
yeah.
they're getting injured. Mobley gets out. Garland breaks
Garland
his
breaks
jaw.
his. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was my
and
fantasy
then
team.
their
He was on
entire
it.
their entire teams are dropping like flies. And then there's just Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, Strus, what's that?
Levert.
Paris Levert, and
Yeah,
what's that kid's name? Dean Wade or whatever. And
D-Wade.
they win like 20. They won like 20 games, like
Yeah,
in like a span of like 25. They won like 20 out of
yeah.
25, something crazy like that. They jump all the way to the 2 seed and they sat there for the whole season. And then
Hmm.
the last like month of the season, they just kind of died. Like their teams like fully healthy, if you want to say that,
Yeah,
but they just died. Like they literally just started playing bad basketball. And
yeah. It
honestly,
was
like
weird. They lost
in my
focus. It looked like.
eyes, in the beginning of the season, I was like, okay, look, obviously Philly, Boston, and Milwaukee, those are going to be the 3 best teams. And then I
Hmm.
thought like, the Cavs after all the mistakes they made last season, and then that terrible loss to the Knicks,
In the
I thought they're
playoffs.
gonna,
Yeah.
come in hot, especially with Donovan Mitchell contract year, this, that, whatever.
Yep.
And I don't know, they're 4 seeds, so it's not really underwhelming. Like that's where they would be.
I would
But
expect them to be there.
but
Yeah.
it's just like going into the playoffs, it kind of feels like the repeat of last year.
Yeah. The
You
confidence
know,
is not high, I feel like.
yeah, like
And
if we started the playoff 3 months ago, I would be like, yo, the Cavs got a shot to
watch
go
out.
Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals, and
Yeah.
we're starting the playoffs now, and they're about to play Orlando, I think. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, do they have anybody to guard Paulo in France? I don't think so. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
No, it's true.
it's an interesting
Cleveland
thing.
is very like it seems like the lights are still gonna be bright. Like, and the only way to change that is to show us. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. They're had a weird year. I wonder if this is the last chance for their coach to like, show before they're
Yeah.
like, yo, we need
I,
a
I
change.
don't know
They
if
stop
River
listening,
Sasha gets
maybe.
fired, but I 100% think like because I 100% think Donovan Mitchell's leaving. Like unless they
Yeah.
miraculously win a ring, or like they have such a crazy run where it's like
Mm-hmm.
this team's actually good. Where it's like, but I highly doubt. Like I know all we hear on Twitter all the time is he's gonna go to the Nets
Every
because he's
time.
like best friends with Mikal Bridges and
Yeah, yeah.
what's his name, Dorian Finney-Smith. I think that's one of his
Yeah.
like really close friends or something like that.
It's a very random
So
relationship, like
random ass.
friendship right
Yeah,
there.
these
Like,
guys just
wait,
know each
what?
other, but yeah,
Yeah,
and he wanted to play in New York this whole time, but he's not gonna fit in the Knicks, so he might just
yeah,
go next door.
yeah.
The fifth
Yeah.
seed team
The
is Orlando Magic, just like we
surprising.
mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
which is it really is like OKC, like a year in advance. I feel like they're
Yeah,
kind of moving. Like OKC's young, might be younger, or they might be the same age, like average wise, but OKC has like their superstar. OKC superstar is what, 6 years
to
in the league, I think.
yeah,
Shea,
Shay,
and
yeah.
Orlando superstar. This is his second season in the league, fifth seed. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy impressive
No,
what
they're
he's done this
hooping.
season.
Yeah,
Um,
no, Orlando is hooping. They're all their guys are kind of, and the thing is, they play like it's a fun young team, like it is, college atmosphere vibes.
hmm
And
hmm
you have your friends, you have Paulo, who we were saying like it's funny because when Paulo plays basketball, it's like if you squint, it's like this is what we thought Zion would be, like the dominance and the health,
100%.
right? The size and like they're like it's like the children of young LeBron kind of
Yeah,
in a
and
way. Like
we're not saying like Zion had a bad season per se or
no,
whatever, but Zion's beginning of Zion's career was
it was
some of the worst
weird.
shit we ever seen, other than those
Yeah,
64 games that he had, like 64 games in 4 seasons where he
yeah.
had
Yeah,
something
he was
good
looking
going.
like Greg
Yeah,
Oden, right? Greg
yeah,
Oden's numbers were
100%.
crazy,
Yeah,
but then like he was never healthy, and Zion was looking like that. And then Paulo is like again, this was his first year, like a
yeah,
breakout year, all star, all that stuff. So
yeah,
we have a lot to go before he
yeah.
gets to the
The
next level.
problem,
And but hey, fifth seed,
fifth seed,
winning
first
basketball, and it's
season,
like
100%.
Orlando Magic, the team, the franchise has had a lot of like turbulence. So like to be in this position, it's like, oh, they locked
A
in this
team like
year.
that, like I
Mhm.
don't think there's really any expectations too with them.
Yeah, they just got to be
It's kind
free.
of like, just go out there and have fun.
Hmm. And
And they're also like the worst shooting team I've ever seen in my life, and they're in the
yeah,
fifth seed. So hats
yeah,
off to them. Like they literally don't shoot threes. Nobody shoots threes. I think their best 3-point shooter is like, what's his name?
Suggs.
No, I think it's the
Go
other
on.
one, the other guard. What's his name?
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. I think he's
Yeah,
shooting like 34% this season.
I don't even think like
Like,
Fultz had a reemergence on that team, and he's injured,
yeah.
I think, and like
Suggs is our best shooter. He's
Suggs. Yeah,
39% this season, which is good, but I don't think
yeah,
anybody else is over 35%, which
right.
is
So
nuts, and
that's
especially on the
nuts
attempts. Like
in this.
especially
Yeah,
in the today's NBA that we play in,
I'm pretty
like
sure in the
not
beginning of
one
the
forty
year.
percent shooting. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the year, like Wendell Carter was their shooter. Like,
yeah,
like their
yeah,
center is
nuts,
gonna shoot. So
nuts.
yeah, Orlando just you're versing. We talked about Cleveland. Maybe they're not as confident. So it's a good measuring stick. Like, let's
Mhm.
see where we're at. And yeah, no
The sixth
expectations.
seed, the next team, Indiana Pacers,
Yeah,
most hilarious. I think honestly, in my opinion, like they're the most weirdest team in the East because it's like Halliburton, everyone is hyping him, this season. I love
hmm
Halliburton. I
hmm
loved him since he was drafted in the Kings. I was like, him and De'Aaron Fox is going to be elite, but
yeah.
obviously the trade happens and stuff like that. And I hate Sabonis, but but they had a great season. But then, like Halliburton died. He
yeah.
tore he what is it, strained his hamstring or whatever, and then he did the
hmm
Harden thing where he just kept playing
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
kept losing, and they're at the sixth seed. I don't know. There's not really much to say about this team. They got Siakam, I guess. That's cool.
yeah. No, and that's the thing. Like, I think it's the Magic. Like today, I actually saw it on Twitter where it's like the Magic and Indiana. Like every team at the top were ducking the
To play
Sixers,
them.
right,
To
to
play
play
them. Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So again, Orlando and the team we just talked about, and Indiana, they just gotta like. I hope they get pissed and they're just
You
like they
you
go
know what's
off.
crazy? You know
That'll
what's
be
crazy? I
funny.
just took in Indiana's playing the Bucks, and remember at the beginning of the season and the in-season tournament, and
Yeah,
all that. They have beef. Like it could be
yeah.
a fun series.
Right,
If
and wow,
Halliburton
that
survives.
seems like a season ago.
Yeah,
Like
it
that
does.
that's how long it felt, bro.
Hey, let me give you
Uh,
this stat. Let me give you
yeah,
this funny stat about Halliburton, which injuries suck, and he wants to be all NBA, and I
yeah,
don't think he's going to even get it anymore,
it's
even though
enough.
he played.
Yeah,
He started this season. I mean, before his injury, he was at 41% from three, and that was like halfway through the season. So like
yeah, he was
maybe 40 games
letting it
played
fly.
already. So
Mhm.
when you're 40 games in, your stats are kind of gonna be your stats. Like Luke
Yeah,
Walton changed from 33, 9 and 9. Jokic
not
hasn't
yeah,
changed from 27, 6 and 12 or whatever he's at. He dropped from 41% to 36% three
yeah,
because of that injury and him playing through it. Like he literally had offers. Like you'd go 0 for 10, 3,
yeah. It
0
was
for
just
9. Like it fell off a cliff, which it's
yeah,
like I feel like they could have been more dangerous this season. Like imagine the Siakam trade with the healthy Halliburton. They,
Yeah.
I could be like, oh no, like the Bucks. If they Bucks, the Bucks are stupid and they be doing bonehead stuff. We saw it last season.
Hmm.
If they do something stupid, maybe they can beat them. But now I'm like,
That's the thing, and it's funny because Indiana was beating them a lot like this
100%.
season, right? Like
Yeah,
play it for in season tournament and just the ball thing, like it
yeah,
was game ball beef. This is the game ball series right here.
yeah.
And I know we're gonna talk about playoff matchups once they're fully solidified, so we're not gonna get into that now. But
No, no,
yeah,
yeah,
they could take a couple games, of course. Milwaukee can be caught sleeping, so Indiana, it's like it could be exciting. They have young pieces, right? Like the Nemhards and the Mathurins and I guess Obi Toppin and stuff. But like
So underrated player on that team is T.J. McConnell. That guy is so good.
he's so
He's so good
good.
at hooping. Like,
The joke with the thing is the Michael Jordan of
yeah,
like TJ
TJ
McConnell. I
Mc-
feel like there's something there for him with the Carusos and the DiVincenzo's.
yeah.
Like he's on that. Like
Yeah.
there's something there. I just don't know
He's
how to
like the
word
Paul George of DiVincenzo's.
it.
Like
Something like that.
he's
Right?
a top 5 of them always.
Yeah.
He can never like get to that one spot like Caruso and DiVincenzo and them. They're always holding it. But,
Pat Connington and the boys. Yeah. But no, it is. He's like a grinder.
He's really good. He's really
yeah.
He's hoping his whole life though. Like he's type of
When he was in Philly, like
yeah,
man. So yeah.
The next, so if you
So
want,
we're
if
into
you
the
want to,
play-
do you want to get into the play-in for the East, or you want to go? You want to talk about West first?
Okay,
And then go to play-in
let's talk
games.
about let's switch over to the West. Let's talk
Okay,
about
we'll
the
go to
first
the West.
solidified 6. Yeah.
Okay, this is the number
The
one
war zone.
surprise. Well, this is the most hectic conference I've seen in my life. Like I don't think I've ever seen this crazy of a conference.
Mm-hmm.
The number one surprise, and then there's the second surprise, which is sitting right in the third seed. But the number one surprise of this season is easily the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I love them coming into this season. But the number one seed, dude, I thought they're gonna be, like sneak in, maybe 6, 7 seed, like
like Orlando.
Yeah, when the number one seed, and we're gonna talk about our MVP picks, this, that, whatever, but like leading guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 30 points per game, 6 and 6, on 54% shooting. He literally only takes middies. He takes maybe three threes, I think a game. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, what was the stat? 31, 7,
31, 31, 6 and 6. 31, 6 and 6 every game.
That's it.
Put a parlay on that shit.
That's it. And he would
do
it every game.
And then there's J-Dub, Chet.
J-Dub.
I just learned today Chet played all 82 games this season.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's
crazy. No, that's no shout out to
Decent Wallets.
Yeah.
The one dude we can't talk about.
No, but like
Joe, Aaron Wiggins,
they're all hooping.
We don't know any of these people, but they all hooped.
No, they're
every
hooping.
single one of them hooped this season. And the number one seed. Go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say, what's their coach's name? Mark Daigneault.
Oh yeah, he's winning Coach of the Year.
So he reminds me of like, well, it's funny because like obviously we'll get into it in another episode, but like in Newcastle, like Prem, like Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Like last year's Eddie Howe.
Top
4.
I think they got top 4.
They got top 4. Yeah. They went to the Carabao Cup final and all that stuff, and it's just like whoa. And he's like, is he the next young coach to like thing? And this is Mark Daigneault's first time to
low-key, Mark might be Xabi Alonso actually, because he won the West.
He won the West, so that's even better. Because Eddie's like kind of like, we're in the mix of the top. But this guy won the West.
The West straight up.
Like fear us,
Dude, and in 2022, they're the black stain of the league. Like nobody even looked at them. Mm-hmm. Everyone would make fun of Presti for having infinite amount of picks, blah blah blah,
not doing anything. And
Shai, nobody cared about Shai.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a young cool guy. Yeah.
And then Shai started becoming league fits, and then last year they do the. They do Chet's out the whole year, and they go this Shai's first year averaging 30. I think that's averaging 30. Yeah, and then J-Dub's rookie year as well, and both Jalen's rookie year last year, and they get to the end game and they get out. They don't make the playoffs, but And then this season, it was like, you know what? We're winning everything. We're beating
Yeah.
everybody.
No, they just like jumped everything.
Yeah,
They flipped it.
100%. They flipped the
Now,
script.
obviously, playoff experience matters, and this is gonna be their first time.
100%.
But the thing I'm excited about is seeing the OKC crowd again because
Yeah, it's
back
gonna be
with
lit, bro.
Westbrook, before that with Westbrook, KD, and then obviously Harden. The
No, but
dynasty
I
began,
feel
like
like
the little
it's
dynasty
gonna
or
be
whatever.
like that
It'd be
that
so
Westbrook
fun.
and KD, that
Yeah,
2010, 2000 and to
yeah, or like when there's the
2014.
finals with
Yeah,
Harden,
like
like that little.
yeah,
Oh man,
because
it
like
like
what
the
they wear.
atmosphere.
You know they would wear all the
Blue,
white the blue
yeah,
jerseys with
the
the white
blue white
towels. I think.
towels. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, it's
they need to bring
fire.
that back. By the way, they don't do that in the NBA
No, and
anymore
like
because everyone like want to be rich, but
yeah.
people need
No,
to
no.
bring the t-shirts out and the like white
Yeah.
hot like in
No, like
Miami.
Miami white hot,
Yeah,
exactly. Like just
but
it just
OKC,
looks sick.
I remember
Raptors do it with the red.
2012 finals game 1.
Yeah.
We were watching it and I was like, yo, like Oklahoma City gets up like this, like
No, it was sick.
holy
It,
dude.
and you rate it like okay, Dub Nation. We know about
Yeah.
Golden State, especially
Thunder up.
Roracle.
Thunder up.
Roracle,
Yeah,
like yeah.
Miracle's the
No,
best.
but no. So like, and that one, the clip that flashed in my head was when Westbrook hits the N1
Yeah.
against the
Oh,
Lakers.
on Kobe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we like get
And he
spun.
starts screaming
He
and
just
like,
screaming, and it's like, so that's gonna be fun. Like, so
yeah.
I hope it's
And they do
like,
1 seed.
I hope they
Ooh,
don't get
wait.
overwhelmed,
Yeah.
but because this is their first time. But this is what you play for, so like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
100%. That's
interesting.
gonna be
Like,
crazy.
I don't know. Like again, we're
Especially
gonna get
because
into
who they might play.
yeah,
It might be like the best series of the playoffs
yeah,
of the first round at least.
yeah, because
Okay.
it's not gonna be. They're not like Denver, right? Like, oh, we're just gonna
Yeah.
sweep the first. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
They're
fun.
100% the biggest surprises this season.
Yeah, yeah.
They got MVP calibers. They got Rookie of the Year caliber players. They got
Yep.
6 Man of the Year. They got
Most
MIP players.
improved.
They got. I think
Improved,
they're in. If I pulled up the odds earlier, but I think at least a player or a coach from them is in every single race. I don't know if they're not going to win it, but they're in every single
they're in the
race.
polls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
okay, and then we got to the 2 seed. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
The Denver Nuggets.
They're
actually tied. They're actually tied with the OKC Thunder,
which is funny.
And the OKC has the. It's funny because I seen the clip on Twitter today. It's Shea hitting the step back game winner on Jamal Murray. I think it's Jamal Murray's face. And that one play is the reason why they're the one seed. It's nuts.
Yeah. No,
the Nuggets are the Nuggets. They're the best. They're the reigning champs. They got the MVP. They got the 2-time MVP. Might be 3-time.
Yep.
He's the
great coach.
Yeah, he's the goat of this generation. He's gonna be the goat of this generation.
Best number 2 you can have in the playoffs, literally based on statistics.
Turns into God every time.
Jamal Murray,
yeah,
like Michael Porter Jr., like
Alexander Isak Jr.
Oh, what did we talk about this year earlier before this podcast began? We were talking about Aaron Gordon. He plays offense now. They run plays for him, bro. Like
it's not just him this season though. It's what's the other kid's name?
Brown?
Peyton Watson.
Oh,
Christian Brown,
yeah. No, like
Reggie
Jackson,
fluid. KCP. I think he's like up. I think he's top 5 in steals this season, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I will say this season alone, like everyone keeps saying they're unbeatable. You know, they're kind of. I've even tweeted it a couple times that they're gonna cakewalk to the finals. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say though, this season.
Bench,
which is weird from last season. I think Bruce Brown. I don't think Bruce Brown's that good, where it's like he makes that much of a difference. And I think they had Jeff Green last season.
Yeah, Uncle Jeff.
And
DJ on the bench or something. Like
DJ's still there. But other people. But their bench is so mid. It's so mid. This is especially when Jokic goes off. Like Jokic goes off, and Jamal Murray's on and off the court this season. But whenever Jokic goes to the bench. Like we watched that game the other day.
LeBron effect, where like
it's like, I gotta see the on-off numbers actually.
Yeah,
I think it was like he's plus 11 when they're on the court. And it's like, like maybe plus 1 or 2. It's like a crazy drop off. Yeah. But they were playing against the Timberwolves recently. I think last week. They were winning the game. Jokic goes to the bench and they just died, like straight up died.
Mm-hmm.
They won. They ended up winning that game at the end.
Yeah, they do. They won. Yeah,
like that is their biggest flaw. I think I see this season.
Wait, was that the game where Jokic chucks that three at the end? Oh no, they lose. That's Phoenix, right? That was the
Not the
recently.
Phoenix game? I don't remember one of those games, you know?
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I remember what the game you're talking about. I just
Yeah.
remember Jokic doing that. Like that's the
Yeah,
play
that was
they
funny.
ran. But yeah, no, but it's true. Like they're such a solid team. I think they're favorites to win the whole thing.
100%.
Like Jokic is gonna enter all-time center,
100%.
all-time top 10,
Imagine
whatever. Like it's just
2
gonna keep
finals
getting in.
MVPs, 2 rings,
Yeah,
3
all that stuff.
MVPs. Bro,
Yeah,
that all them other dudes, like other than Bronze, whatever, but all
yeah.
them other dudes, man,
Yeah, they're
they
gonna
were
be like a little sweating,
really
like, yo,
pissing their pants, man.
where
Like,
this guy came
damn,
from.
bro,
Yeah.
where did Serbian come from?
No, that's Denver, man.
I don't know. There's not really much to
Yeah,
talk
like
about
they're
with
just
them.
awesome. But
Yeah.
the next team,
Next team, this is my second biggest surprise this season,
yes,
is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Cause
because how?
they, bro, their team.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna say go out on a limb and say that I didn't really like. I still don't like
yeah,
the Gobert trade. I
mm-hmm,
also don't like Cat, and I think they're probably gonna trade him this offseason if they don't win or don't go
mm-hmm,
far. But they pretty much were the 1 seed the entire year. They did the reverse Knicks where they were
yeah,
the 1 seed the entire year, and then they kind of bottled it at the end.
yeah,
They just choked
yeah,
it up. They lost a bunch of games that they shouldn't have.
yeah,
And then, yes, today they lost to the Suns. They got blown out by the Suns,
mm-hmm,
and they conceded the 1 seed, which is funny because they're gonna play the Suns in the playoffs. You know, they got
yeah.
KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
It's
So
no, that's gonna be fireworks just because of
it's
that
gonna be fun.
clip.
It's gonna be fun. And
And
also, Devin Booker like hates them. He's like 11-1 against the
yeah.
the freaking Timberwolves.
So no, we're getting some good series, including that one. So, but basically talking about Minnesota overall, like they're like a top defensive team. The offense is like
They're the
random
best
as hell.
defensive team. They're
But
crazy, dude.
so like, and it's weird because I didn't know Cat and Gobert could work, and
Yeah,
obviously,
honestly,
like I didn't think that. Like, because
no at
Gobert
all.
has his deficiencies, like when it comes to the playoffs, I guess in the past when during those runs,
No,
and
100%.
Cat hasn't really as good as he is, great shooter, this and that. He never really like led the Timberwolves to like to heights that you would think a number one overall pick and player of his like caliber can do. So, but and to join those two together, you don't expect this, right? You would think
No,
Ant is just on an island
no.
by himself and it's like, yo, somebody help, please.
And I think
Yeah.
the number one emergence on that team is Nas Reed, though.
Oh,
Like the meme, but it's not really a meme. He's insane. Let me pull up his numbers this season. Hold
yeah,
on.
he's sick. I'm pretty sure
He,
he also is now like tied or like up there with six man of the year because Monk got injured,
I think,
which is
6 man
funny.
of the year. Yeah, he might win that. I thought you were talking about MIP. I think MIP is going to probably Kobe, right? But whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he's averaging 14 a game, 14, 5, and a block on 47%. But this is the kicker: 41% from three, and I think
mm,
he's taking just about 33s a game right now. Let me take a look. Hold on.
right. So if he ups
So,
that and gets better, so
hmm
sky's the
No,
limit
yeah.
for that
So he's
guy.
taking. Yeah, I think he's taking just under 33s a game, which is nuts. 41% is crazy. And every time you watch him, like Ulesh always says, like this is the best player I've ever seen. What is this guy?
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
like he's
he's
like
Michael
he's
Jordan,
like
whatever.
when
Yeah,
Anthony Davis always says, like, he was a guard growing up, and then that's why he can dribble. Like Nas Reed can actually dribble though. Like it's
yeah,
nuts with it.
yeah.
Um,
No, it's true.
Definitely, yeah,
If they and
great
then they
season
have
from them,
their
honestly.
Jaden McDaniels. We got Jaden McDaniels and
Yeah,
no, even Kyle Anderson, man. He
I
hoops
don't
like
know, bro. I don't really like Kyle Anderson this season. I
it,
think
it-
I
and
think
Connolly.
Mikael Alexander Walker
Oh
definitely
yeah,
off the bench
true.
is the next factor, and then Mike
Mhm.
Conley. He's like the second or third oldest player in the league right now. Him hooping as much as he's done is very impressive.
Yeah.
Uh,
So they have a
well,
good mix of like
they have a
young guys
good team, yeah.
and vets and like depth too. Chris Finch is coaching well, I guess, as he can, and it's like let's just see,
Yeah,
like, and
their
let's see how
offense is
far.
just
Ant
atrocious, but yeah,
Ant is a playoff. Like he looks like a guy who's wakes up for the playoffs, like your Jamal Murray's, and like their numbers are just gonna go up. So hopefully, Ant, like I know last year he did his thing, but like now he's like
last year I think he averaged like 31 a game
with
in that
Nugget,
series
right?
against the.
Yeah,
Yeah, he went
Denver,
crazy.
yeah,
Also, they are probably the best team that matches up with Nuggets, just because they
the
can
height
send, they
and
can
yeah,
keep one on one on Jokic the entire time.
Mhm.
Even though Rudy, it might get 40 dropped on him. They are
Brother.
so
What
brother,
did
I
he
have
say?
40.
Brother, I already have
Yeah,
40,
he
man.
said, I got him, I got him, I got him. Yo, brother, I have 40.
Yeah. Drop stat. Boom.
Okay,
No,
the
yeah.
fourth seed,
Yeah.
the Clippers.
Ex
The
Clippers.
Clippers. They're probably the most hilarious team. I think they're right at what I thought they would be the entire season.
With
Like,
and without the Harden
yeah,
trade.
like like they're just right at what they're at, where they
They're
were supposed to
funny.
be. Harden is already starting his disappearing act. Like
Yeah.
he's already being
Yeah. They're
awful.
sitting Kawhi already, but like
Who
for the
knows if
playoffs.
Ty Lue said today, like they asked him if Kawhi's gonna be ready. He said, I don't know. He said, so I'm like, how do we do this every season with these guys?
Yeah. Paul George wants to be Robin, but then everyone's saying, yo, you're gonna have to be Batman, bro. And it's like, oh
No,
shit.
Paul George
No, bro.
averaged 25 a game challenge. He can't.
Yeah.
Paul George is at 22 a game. They had a good season though. They had a
I
really
think the
good
X
season.
factor here is gonna be PJ Tucker, honestly.
He doesn't even want to play. No, he wants to play, but Tyler doesn't want to play. They're just such a funny team, bro. They
Then
have
Brody. No, see,
yeah,
I'm excited of his
Brody.
Westbrook. Like he
So
plays his heart out, man.
just because Brody's on that team, I need if the Lakers die, I need a ring from the Clippers. Let's go. I need a Brody ring, but
Yeah.
this team is their team. Like this has been the story for the last 4 years since
Their
since
whole
Kawhi
era, bro.
Kawhi PG has landed there. This has been their story for the last 4 years. This season they got Harden. They went on a crazy run, and then they died.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
sounds
they're
like
back
another Harden story esque,
every
like
year.
every time.
You know,
Ty Lue is
Brody
a
off the
coach we
bench is
respect. I think we both respect a lot.
yeah,
He's a
100%.
top whatever coach like in
Yeah,
this
people
league.
always saying he's sabotaging or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're a good team. Like
Yeah.
honestly, when we get to our playoff matchups, that's when we can really dive into their team because
Yeah.
they're kind of one of those teams with like the Nuggets where it's like we already know who you are. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's see these matchups, see how it works, especially with their matchup, which is the 5th seed, which is the most, I think, the most. To me, I thought in the beginning of the season their roster stunk. Like I hated their roster. I said this multiple times to you. I've said this on Twitter. I thought the roster was awful. Then they made this. They had actually a pretty good start, and then they made a trade. They made the trades in the before the All-Star break or post All-Star break. They got Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. And Dante Exum is good now all of a sudden. Shout out 2K16.
Utah legend.
My NBA My Career legend. Dante Exum. And obviously they have the two-headed dragon on their team, if you want to say that, the two guards, Kyrie and Luka. I don't know what more can you say about those two guys. You know what I mean?
No, so Luka is like, all-time player already. I feel like the way he plays, he just needs the accolades now to like just
probably this is
fill out
probably
the
a
trophy
great start to a career.
Insane.
Like I'm talking statistically, not about like Magic Johnson won in his first season.
No, it is other than Wemby maybe starting the next 3 years.
Yeah, well, Wemby or Braun, something like that. Like
something like that.
Like the first, like he's averaging 34, 9, and 10, basically 9.8 assists on 48% shooting, and this season he's at 38% from 3, which is more than enough, especially I think he's higher on his step backs.
Yeah.
So it's like 41% on his 40% on his step backs, whatever. Just insane. He's just an insane player.
I feel like this year for their we're talking about their regular season and because the playoffs we'll get later, but I feel like they just locked in more. Like I feel like when it comes to their team, the roster makeup was a little weird in the beginning. Then they did the trade and stuff, so it's like okay, we got some help. Shout out to Lively, great rookie.
Oh
season.
Yeah. I forgot to mention
Luka. Amazing. And but that's the thing, they just kind of focused more, I guess. Luka, trying to play more defense maybe, and just because he went on shows and he talked about that too. We saw on different platforms, and Kyrie, Kyrie did what Kyrie did. He was really good this year. I feel like the best.
Kyrie averaged 25, 5 and 5 on 40,
no distractions.
41. I think if he played today and shot over 50%, he could have got 50, 40, 90 again.
Yeah,
which is
seems like
insane.
which is like he
We
does it
didn't
in his
hear
sleep.
anything from him this season, like
You're
not even a
right.
peep,
Yeah,
nothing,
'cause
no
that's something
no
people talk about
problems,
him.
all the time. Also, like
Yeah.
their team was hovering around. Like for a while, I was like, I always want Luca. Like I'm one of those media guys where like those media guys would be like, anointing Luca as the MVP. We've been doing this for 3
We
seasons,
start with that, and then we go into
but
the
then they were
yeah.
like the 8, 9 seed for a while, and
Yeah,
then they went on
again,
this crazy run this
yeah,
last month
post
or
All-Star
two.
break or
I think
something.
post
Yeah,
All Star break, but post
something
All
like
Star
that.
break they started actually the last 6 games post All Star break.
Oh,
After
yeah, yeah,
that,
and then they
they went
locked in.
crazy,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then landed themselves at the 5th seed, which is a great season from them.
No,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
them, so
Okay, and then now we get to the fun teams.
ooh,
This is the fun teams from 6 through. I think we got to go all the way to 10 with
we
these
should just
guys.
talk about them. Just talk
So
about them. Yeah,
so locked in at 6 is the Phoenix Suns. I did not think they're gonna be the 6th seed this season, dude. Like
yeah.
I don't think they're winning shit, but
Mhm.
I think they should have been way higher this season, especially with Beal, Book, KD. I think all of them. I think Beal's at like
Yep,
18 a game, but he's been injured all season,
mhm,
which has been the number one problem of this team. They're always hurt.
yep.
They're always hurt, and they are one of the biggest choke artists in the NBA this season, which is weird enough, which is weird to say. Every big game they play, they kind of lose it. Other than today, I feel like today was a big game to lock up the 6th seed, and they did it.
Yeah,
Um,
like they showed they could do it, and which we would always continuously question them. And I feel like you and I, when the season started, we were kind of like, "Look at this makeup of this roster, man! Like
it
KD,
was awful.
still a great hooper.
Yeah,
Devin Booker, yeah, sometimes we troll, but like great player, right? Like at the
yeah,
end of the day,
100%.
whatever. And Beal, check his pulse because his injury history is going crazy now. But like, no, but it's like you have these three, the supermax stuff, the new
Mhm.
CVA. Like, what does this make up? So like, I don't have expectations, and also like, do you have the debt to keep going? And then the injuries, they all three of them are always hurt. Like that's the thing. So, and you're gonna be in gunfights. And that's what happened this year. It's a lot of just gunfights and just like it sucks because I feel like Frank Vogel's a very defensively minded coaching
But the team's
style,
not
but it's
defensively
not defensively
roster. The
like
roster
yeah,
is.
the
I
paper
think
is
their
not
best
that.
defender is Kevin Durant. Like people are trying to give him all NBA defense because
Yeah,
how ass everybody else is.
yeah.
Like
So
like
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else is really bad,
So
and
that's the
Kevin Durant
Suns.
is good. But even
Mhm.
like when you think about the Suns, like my biggest problem with the Suns this season is their last season. I feel like
Mm,
because I don't
right.
think there's a like the
Who
CBA
will
is
be
not
back?
changing
Yeah,
next
yeah.
season, so you're gonna have to do this
Get rid
Drew
of
Eubanks
people.
and Okogie,
Mhm.
Royce O'Neal
Yeah,
experiment again.
yeah.
Like who are you gonna get
Or
on
you're just
minimum?
gonna replace those guys with the same level of like
Yeah, that's all. You're
it's
gonna have
it's
to
what
just
we
keep
used
doing
to
that.
do when we used to make super teams on 2K for like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
franchise, and then we're just like, yo, who's a free agent? All right, yeah, boom,
100%.
add, like
Exactly.
like randomly, like
And
oh, veteran,
it's
veteran,
like
veteran.
okay, we
Yeah,
basically have the same team from last year. It's just we replaced Bradley Beal with Chris Paul. Bradley Beal's better, sure, but like, are we?
yeah,
Do we really think like uh, is there a final shot in this team? Like,
yes,
is Katie going to turn back the clock, turn to God, and is Devin Booker going to play be clutch in a clutch game situation? I
ever.
don't think I've ever seen him be clutch ever in a clutch game situation.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's that team. Like, there's not
Yeah,
really they're another one of those teams where it's like when we do the playoff preview episode, we can
yeah,
dive deeper in that.
yeah,
Next we got the Pelicans.
yeah.
They had such a funny season because
It's so
they
funny.
were they were like the 4 seed at one point, and now
Yeah.
they're the 7 seed. They just got blown out by the Lakers today, and now they have
Hmm.
to play the Lakers again on Tuesday. Um,
Yeah.
actually, do you want to just get into the play-in games now, or you
Yeah,
want to
I
talk
think
about?
we should just get in like
We'll just talk about the teams while we're at it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Lakers yeah, okay, because I was gonna be like
So
Lakers Pelicans. They're
so Lakers
next,
and
and then
Pelicans are playing. They're playing
yeah,
in the play-in game. We'll do our predictions later. Pelicans had a season. Like, all right season. I think like my biggest standout to that season is Zion losing weight. Um
yeah, staying fit. Yeah.
BI playing I think BI playing more than 60 games as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, they're kind of nuts. I don't
Yeah.
like their coach at all. Their coach hates playing anybody remotely good on their team. He has a Larry Nance fetish. He has he doesn't like Jordan
Yeah.
Hawkins, the kid that shoots like
Mm.
45% from three. And CJ McCollum, we've seen CJ McCollum our entire lives. Every time the playoffs come around, the amount of times he sold Dame, I'm never gonna forgive him for that. When Dame had 55 against the
Yeah.
Nuggets, they went to triple overtime or whatever, and this guy couldn't. This guy was like jacking up shots
Yeah.
to end the game and just completely sold them.
Sold. Yep. Yep.
That's the
No.
Pelicans
Okay. So
thing.
for me, Pelicans for me is like, yeah, Zion, good job staying healthy. Like, cool, bro. And then Ingram, like, we know what Ingram is. I feel like at this point, his ceiling is his ceiling, like, or whatever. And you already talked about CJ, but I like their surrounding pieces more than them.
Dude,
It's
that's the
so
thing.
funny because you look
If
at
I
the
could
team,
trade, like if I
yeah.
look at it,
But yo, Trey
like
Murphy,
imagine the Suns with like the Suns big three,
yeah,
replace them with like replace all the other guys with the New Orleans Pelicans bench. It's
yeah.
funny. They're like the cakewalk. They might go 82-0. Their
That's the
bench
thing.
and
Yeah,
all their all their key pieces of after their superstars is insane. Trey Murphy,
yeah.
Herb Jones,
Mm-hmm.
what's on that team? What's the other kid's name? The freaking Alvarado. He's all right.
Yeah.
Let me find their team. Hold on. Jordan Hawkins, Trey Murphy. I already said that. Najee
Daniels.
Marshall,
Did you have to do it? Was that no Daniels? That's the
Matt
guy.
Ryan. Obviously, Jonas is on that team. But those four pieces, those like
Yeah,
four pieces, those two starters and the three off the bench, that's like five pieces, which any team would like.
yeah.
But the Pelicans have Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram as their 1 and 2,
That's the
and
thing.
that's why it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's why they went from the 4 seed to the play-in.
It's like the inverse. They're like the reciprocal of one another, and it's
On the
funny
Suns,
because of the Suns.
yeah,
And
yeah,
at
yeah.
the end of the day, it's like also I forgot to mention this about the whole Booker thing because the whole Devin Booker is a point guard act. The same thing with CJ McCollum point guard act. Like no, I don't.
Even
Eh,
for if you're not at a time they're doing point Zion, like
right. Yeah.
Zion needs to get like any other type of like he needs to like actually dribble the ball, like
Yeah.
know how to
But he needs to
facilitate a
learn
pick
that.
and
Like it's
roll.
not natural to
Like
him yet.
these things are
Yeah.
not, yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Like they tried
You
that
know what's funny?
experiment. It
If
didn't work.
you had like Trey Young on one of these teams, and I know like this is a whole like can of
Yeah,
worms I'm opening, but
yeah,
it's like just the ball, like floor general, and maybe like
100%.
ball handling, and just to bring up the ball and set everyone up. I feel like and that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't have to be a Trey Young, but it's like so much key. The
Something
doors
like that.
open.
Yeah, Mike
It's funny.
Conley. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
someone
yeah,
like that.
yeah, like a
Yeah,
more
yeah.
traditional point guard
Like,
esque. Don't stop trying to make these like scoring potential players
the
like
shooting guards
pure
into
scorers
point
in the
guards.
point
Yeah.
guards. Like, yeah, but it is what it is. So
Um,
yeah, I
Next, their matchup, which is both of our favorite teams, is the
Lakers,
Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, the
the
Lakers.
LeBron.
You know, oh,
Woo, what a season!
I got beef with everybody who runs the Lakers franchise. I
Yeah,
hate all y'all.
shout out to the
But
Lakers. What?
that's the Lakers, dude. If you
What
look
a
at this
season!
season, like
This can be its own episode, by the way.
LeBron's all NBA. Anthony Davis is all NBA this season. They're locked
Wow,
for it. In my opinion, these guys are in the 8 seed, barely hanging on. They're
barely.
about to
We were
play
10
the
like 2 days
they're,
ago.
they're about
10.
to play the play-in. I feel like okay, we're just talking about roster wise. I don't want to go into all the politics wise and
Yeah,
Darvin Ham, the
yeah.
ambulance and all that stuff. Roster wise, they're one of those teams where it's like they're so how do you say it? What is it? Like
Inconsistent.
inconsistent. They're one of those
Yeah.
because when they're good, which you saw today, they're insane. They can like kill teams.
Yeah, they
But
yeah.
when they're bad, they are bad. Like the Pacers game last week. That's one
Yeah.
of the worst games I ever watched in my life. Like,
No,
what the hell
who
are
did
these
they
guys doing?
who
The
did they
two
recently
Kings
lose
games,
to? Oh
the
my yeah.
Nuggets. Those
Mm-hmm.
are, take in. Those are the four, and the Warriors. Those are the
Oh,
5 losses
yeah. The
that they've
Warriors.
had. Those are the 5 losses that they've had since the All-Star break. But those
Which is
5 losses are
insane.
so bad, which is crazy in
Yeah.
itself. That's how crazy the Western Conference is.
Yeah.
You want to do your prediction? What are you thinking? against
Okay,
the
well,
Pelicans.
before we get to the prediction, I was just gonna say my thing is when it comes to the Lakers, you mentioned it, the roster, it looks like, wait, if you squint, this can go to all the way to the conference
D'Lo,
finals. Wait,
Rui,
they did
Reed.
last year. But guess what? In the regular season, let's just hover around this mediocre like place.
They're easily the most
So
disappointing team
weird.
this season.
So weird. And I do think, and I know we talked about this throughout like this whole season, it's a lot to do with the coaching. Like, I know we can get into that, but like since we're reviewing the season,
Yeah.
I think Darvin Ham, like, people be like, "Wait, you went to the conference finals last year," but I feel like sometimes it's like in spite of Darvin Ham, we made it to the
With Darvin
conference
Ham
finals.
this season, everybody keeps saying it on Twitter. We've said it multiple times, talking to each other. There was after the in-season tournament, we won the in-season tournament. We were like the third seed,
The
the fourth seed
hottest
in the
team.
league, the best team in the league. Everyone's saying blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. And he benches D'Lo, he benches Reeves, and Rui is injured and he's 6-man, so he's benched as well. He starts Torian Prince,
Cam,
Cam Reddish. Shout out Cam Reddish. I still think you're good. And
Vando. No, Vando is
no,
in and out.
Rando died.
Vando,
Whoever
yeah,
I forgot who else he started. Maybe Reeves was in there, but
it was
no,
a weird
Rui.
lineup,
No,
man.
dude, we lost like 8 straight games. Like it killed our season. Killed it.
And also, Reeves
Smoked
and
it.
D'Lo were healthy.
Healthy
They were-
scratches.
it-
They're
it
playing
was-
like 19, 23 minutes. Like
No.
why is my D'Lo averages 18 a game and Reeves averages 15 and 3 or 15 and 5 or something? Why are my two freaking hot scorers who can help Braun, 40-year-old Braun and 32-year-old hobbled AD, take the load off? Why we're not a defensive minded team like that. We this season especially, we had to go full into our offense, and we did it so late in the season, which is why we're sitting at 8 seed and why we have to play the play-in game against the Pelicans, which I think it will be a recap of today. And the in-season tournament finals, just because we kind of know how to play against them, and LeBron plays Zion so well.
Wait, there was semifinals, right? Playing, right? Because Indiana was the finals.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
But because LeBron plays Zion so well, and like we know how to shut off that dude, so nobody else can get going on that team.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be the same. Like we'll end up as a 7 seed, but we're gonna be playing the Nuggets, so this season might be over right here. But what are your predictions?
So for the play-in game, I think Lakers are gonna take it. A little bit of bias maybe, but I think like what you saw today, it's like I think Anthony Davis also gets up to play New Orleans.
Every
That's
time.
all, folks.
Like
that's
9-1 against them since he's come to the Lakers.
Trade. Yeah. So he just like he's in their minds, I feel like, and like it's just gonna. They're just gonna know how to get the Lakers and LeBron the last couple of years. Like they're in the play-in every year. It feels like or something. It's like
last
one game. We'll figure it out. Like that one special game, 100%. We know what to do. Whether it's against Steph Curry and the Warriors and such and such, except for again, like you said, the Nuggets. So boo. But other than the Nuggets part, like that's the next part of it. If they get past the play-in, but I think the Lakers, like, it's the one thing, Darvin Ham coaching or not coaching, and
injuries, like, not injuries.
I think
there's one thing or another this season.
They can figure this one out.
Yeah.
After that, it's like a bumpy. We'll get
bring me the Nuggets.
But yeah,
I'm beating them. So wait, I gotta say this: the funniest Pelican stat. I forgot to mention this. I told you this earlier today. 0-22. It was 21 before today. 22 going into the fourth, trailing. It is the most embarrassing stat I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And the second thing about the Pelicans is they are foregoing taking our draft pick this season. That is the 4th year in a row they have foregoed taking our draft pick this season.
So how do they feel about the trade?
Like piss.
Yeah. So how do they feel about the trade? Look, Lonzo's doing so well for them. Wait. Okay, no, but Josh Hart though. That's the Knicks. Ingram.
Yeah.
He's him. But no, but jokes aside, it's like it's such a funny franchise. And wait, it's the same people that own the Saints, right? Like it's like a family business.
Gail Benson.
So interesting. Yeah, it's so
I
interesting.
hate him. I hate him.
Yeah,
Don't talk
it's
about the
funny that
Saints. We'll get to
they
we'll get to the
cause you
playoff.
pain. Yeah, the NFL,
Yeah.
but that's a whole other thing that hopefully
We'll
we'll
get
get
to the
into.
NFL in the
But
summer. Not right now.
yeah, that family
Draft.
causes you pain and also gives you laughs. It's so weird in two different
Yeah.
leagues. But anyways,
Uh,
so moving
we'll get
on
to the
to the
9-10
the
seed.
Lakers. The Lakers survived not being here. Shout out to LeBron's
Yeah.
old age, but like, so he doesn't have to play 2 games. But we have the Kings, so we'll
Yeah.
talk about the Kings, and we also have the Warriors.
Warriors.
But the Kings,
The
let's go
funniest
back
team
there.
in the league.
Oh
The
man, the
Kings.
Kings. Yeah, go ahead.
The Kings had a good season. That was weird.
Weird.
For the technical difficulty, folks. We back.
Okay, well, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. We were talking about the Sacramento Kings.
All right. Sacramento Kings one of those teams to me where, no offense, they're just so boring.
Yeah,
But
last year was more fun with this squad.
They're one of
Like
those,
the beams.
My number one thing of this season is every team in the West just doubled down on being whatever they were last season, and the Sacramento Kings did it the worst.
Right.
So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, no, like Fox is cool. Like him and Shea finished the thing together, leading in steals per game. And like, if you're a betting person, like that's the future. You just put in De'Aaron Fox steals per game leader. Boom, done. No, and he's sick. He's solid. Last year's clutch player of the year. Sabonis, it's interesting because like we'll see what Sabonis you get in the playoffs because like the lights felt a little bright last year.
I will say, this is our thing with Sabonis, which I've always been saying for a while, but he's like, like we'd be crying. People be crying about Westbrook used to stat pad. Yeah. Nobody stat pads like Sabonis stat pads. Like he's a triple double machine.
You said that before.
He's so good at triple doubles, and he's a solid player. Like he's not bad. He's a good passer. He's like Nikola Jokic, Alfred Sengun tier. I mean, the cloth. He's like them, but
the Charmander of those three.
We've seen.
Yeah.
Wait, is Charmander the first?
No, Charmeleon.
He's a Charmeleon.
He's Charmeleon because he's all NBA version.
And nobody likes Charmeleon. Like we like Charmander and Charizard.
Yeah. Charmander Sengun. Yeah.
But last year we saw in the playoffs against the team that he's gonna play the play-in.
Yeah. The script writers are cooking.
It's crazy.
Wait, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then it's kind of crazy. Like 3-6 is the meme. They got KD, but we got Jimmy McDaniels, and then the Nuggets are gonna play the Lakers, maybe. But Sacramento versus Golden State, it's like, bro, we saw that. Like he was getting I get it, he got his chest stomped in and whatever.
Yeah, joke. I guess what Draymond didn't play today. He's ready.
The Warriors are the funniest team in the league, but the Warriors, man. But he didn't do anything. He was so bad. Like we were begging him to shoot the ball, and Malik Monk is like, "Please, bro, I don't have enough hops left." And De'Aaron Fox is like, "Dude, I don't know how many more middies I can take." Like,
Keegan Murray's like, "Oh my baby."
Keegan Murray can't. Like, Keegan Murray's like, "Bro, I don't even know how to shoot. It's the playoffs. I don't know. I've never done this before in my life."
Yeah,
and it was on him. That's when they lost. Yeah. They went to 7 games. They lost, and obviously Curry is Curry, so that's why they, Curry's first ever clutch series ever. We don't count the Boston series. That's fake. But that's that team.
Wait, I'm pretty sure he was All NBA third team last year.
He was All NBA third team.
So it's like, yo, please, All NBA third team player, please come help us out, please. No. Nah, bro.
We're gonna have another one like that.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'll do my own thing.
Miles Morales.
Yeah, so it's like Mike Brown is, again, he took whatever he learned from the Warriors, and we know what Mike Brown was before that too, of course. But it's like, I feel like he took that offensive scheme and is like trying to implement his version of it at the Kings, and he did it crazy last year. And then this year they tried it again, but it's like they kind of got figured out. It felt like a little bit. Monk's injury does not help them either.
Also, they're dead. I just realized, right? Kevin Herter's done. Malik Monk's done. I think Keegan Murray's injured.
I'm not sure.
And then Domantas Sabonis and obviously De'Aaron Fox are healthy, but the rest of the team is finished. And then who they're playing coming up is the 10th seed, the number 1 funniest team in the league.
After the Lakers.
Yeah, right after the Lakers. They are just so weird. They're like
Yeah.
the weirdest team ever.
Yep.
They traded Jordan Poole last season
Yep.
for Chris Paul. They decided they wanted to get older, even though they're one of the oldest teams in the league.
With the craziest money situations. One of them.
Their entire fan base hates Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
They want to kill
He's a
them.
sabotage
Yeah,
person.
and just like the Clippers
Saboteur.
fan base, but the Clippers want to kill Ty Lue for some reason. But that team is like, I was really hoping for them not to make the playoffs because it would just be so funny. But they're here now. But it's gonna that game, like, I don't even know what to expect from the Warriors because
Yeah.
they're not good at anything. They foul everybody all the time. Like, it's so bad. The fans be crying about the refs drinking. You play the smallest lineup in the league, and all you guys do is hack people, like, all the time. That's why teams go to the line. That's why every game's close with y'all. And they play Podiments, whatever his name is.
Yeah, they're kids.
Key minutes. I don't like him. He's
I feel like Kuminga cooled off.
Kuminga's nice, but even
like,
then,
no, but like, he was having a good, like, this is his time. Like, he's now the young guy who's gonna, like, not take over, but like help Curry and just be
also
reliable. But I feel like he's cooling off a little, maybe fatigue. Who knows?
Also, I don't want to bring it up, but I'll bring it up. That dude Curry this season, he has had, like, for the last month or two, every time I look at the box score,
yeah, you keep talking about this,
bro. He's like 7 for 30 every game. He's like every game he's shooting like 41% from the field.
It's a person impersonating Stephen Curry.
I'm like, bro, that's not Steph. And I'm not. Did he get hurt? He got hurt earlier this season, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was,
so I don't know if that's affecting him or whatever. I think, but like,
no, but it's true. It felt like he was getting bailed out by the team, and like Clay kind of woke up randomly too in this last
month or two. Everybody else on that team, because them and us, the Lakers, we're having such an insane post All-Star break, but we can't move up in the standings. But like, I don't think it's like Curry had some nice games, but even the other day, like when he played against the Pelicans, until they got to the fourth quarter, he was legit. Like, so he had 13 points. He finished with 33, but he had 13 points. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
It's funny because the way
age might be catching up to him. But
what you just described is hilarious in a way, because we are now noticing it because this is how the last month or so went. But it's like you kind of described like Dame, like all time great, like bona fide clutch play, whatever, like all timers, especially of this past generation. And it's like, we could talk about Harden, slowing down and those injuries, the hamstring stuff from Nets especially is caught up to him officially. Westbrook also, but it's like Curry and Dame were still considered, like, they were safe, no one was talking down on them. There's like whatever. Portland and Curry's roster is a little interesting, but now both of them just had it's like it's starting to show like cracks in their.
I'll give the benefit of the doubt to Curry just because of who Curry is. 4 rings and all, but I don't know, bro. That team is just so, like, I don't know what we're gonna get from them. Where it's like, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think they'll win against the Kings.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they'll beat the Pelicans or the way we have it right now. But
right.
Like, I don't know if like they'll be, like they'll go anywhere in the offs. And it'll be a funny script if they do make the offs and they play OKC round 1. And this year, Shea's been beating Curry's head in, like smashing his head in. I think they won the season series. He makes Instagram posts every time. Every time he whooped Curry, the E40 meme or whatever. The E40 line.
The line,
which it'd be kind of it'd be full circle.
Plus, like, Shea kind of snatching his All NBA first team spot. Like,
took that.
It's Luka and Shea, and it's like, oh snap,
that's gonna be a fun one.
Okay, so should we move to the Eastern play-in? And
let me go there.
Get that over.
So Bulls versus Hawks.
Ooh, such a matchup, bro.
Okay, we can just skip this one because I just think Philly and Miami are gonna be the 7-8 seed.
Yeah, regardless, right?
Like, unless Trae Young is not injured still. Like, I know he came back today or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think they're not good. So They
No,
both have 30 wins, so they're not even at the 40 game threshold even.
yeah.
So like I
Okay,
don't
if
know.
if you want to just quickly talk about the Hawks here, because we're doing kind of like I guess their
Yeah.
season in review. I think this is the best way to put it. I saw shout out to StatMuse today. Hawks win percentage this season 500. DeJounte without Trey.
Yeah.
Trey without DeJounte
500.
500. When they play together,
500. Oh, 40.
41.7% win percentage. How crazy is that?
That's nuts.
Like
No, but
that's
I
the
don't know if you saw
season.
the Hawk stat like for the last like 10 years their record is 500. They're like the
Yeah,
definition of mid.
mid.
The
Yeah.
like the accurate definition of mid. And
Yeah,
then we
they need
have
to do some shake up on that team. And I think Chicago's like that too. If we're gonna
Chicago,
segue into
same
that.
thing. Same thing.
It's weird, like Kobe
I don't
White,
know. I don't
obviously.
know their vision. I don't even know. Like
Yeah,
Chicago, this in the trade deadline, like they wouldn't trade Caruso. They
yeah.
could have
Or
got a haul for
I'm
him.
pretty sure like Levine was we know Levine was in
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
talks.
But Levine's out for the season, I think,
Yeah,
right?
but like the trade stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
DeMar
it's
can be useful somewhere too. We were
yeah.
talking about that today.
I
Like,
just don't know their front office's direction for both of these teams.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what is the goal here? Like, are we
yeah.
just gonna stay at 9, 10 our whole lives
Mm-hmm.
and not get good picks?
Yeah,
Even like if
yeah.
we're gonna tank,
Tank
tank.
well. Tank
Yeah,
well. Yeah. No,
yeah.
it's
Do
funny.
the Thunder. You know what I mean?
They're the
But they don't
definition of a mid-table
mid,
team
mid.
in
They're just mid.
football.
Yeah,
Like, right? Like,
yeah.
they're just gonna be in
They're
the middle
Crystal
there.
Palace. They'll be there forever.
Right. Yeah. So it's true. It's like,
They'll
yeah.
just be there forever. You know.
Yeah. They all hey Crystal. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
So
Bournemouth. Hey, what's
going
going on,
to
guys? Well,
yeah. So to determine 7-8, which I think we both think that 7-8 is gonna be these
yeah,
guys,
they're gonna be.
Philly and
I think it's
Miami.
gonna be as it is though,
So
because
yeah,
if
and
I
I
like
think Philly is gonna be 7.
The Philly
Yeah.
season is a funny season because obviously Joel Embiid gets hurt and they just died. But the last 8 games since Joel Embiid has been back, they're 8-0.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
And he's still kind of running his body,
You
getting
know
used
what?
to
You know
it.
what I'm saying? I'm the number one Joel Embiid hater,
Yeah.
but it's like time heals all wounds. The
Yeah.
time away has made me appreciate who the hell
Absence.
Joel
Yeah.
Embiid
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
We missed the scoring.
The East became so boring because
Yeah.
it's just like Boston and then the dysfunctional Bucks and my Cavs that are just falling
Yeah.
apart. That like Joel Embiid, like it's tailor made. This postseason run for him is tailor made. It's like a Cinderella, historic, legacy defining run. Look, he would play the Knicks, then he wouldn't play Boston until the Western and the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he'd
Mm-hmm.
play Knicks and then he would play Milwaukee. Like take
Yeah.
that Knicks, Milwaukee, Boston.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid averaging 40 a game. Hey, but if he can't do it, his playoff woes are nuts.
No, that's the thing. So he has to elevate himself, and I think, like you said, like the absence makes the heart go fonder theme here, where
Yeah.
it's like we criticize him a lot because when it comes to the playoffs, everything drops for him, points, rebounds, statistically everything, and just like the game overall, it's like he gets figured out. So if he could just kind of stay in this level of like level-headedness, just be just a silent assassin his way up the thing, I think he gets more respect. If he makes it all the
They
way,
have a
like
squad. They have a nice squad. I
they
like their
they
squad.
do, and Nick Nurse, like they're
Good
buying
coach.
into him, so
Yeah.
maybe they can make some noise. And then that's the thing, everyone was ducking. Today they were losing on purpose.
Everybody ducks them. Everybody
They
ducks
know
them.
they're gonna be the 7th seed, which what we're
Yeah.
predicting. I think is they beat
Yeah.
Miami, and Miami.
And then we got the biggest fraud team in the NBA, the number one fraud team. They got lucky last season. I don't care. I hate Jimmy Butler. The Miami Heat, they're gonna die. The Boston Celtics. I promise you, this is a hot take. They are going to sweep or gentlemen sweep them.
But
it's not even a hot take. That shouldn't be a hot take.
It
but
shouldn't
it is.
be. But
Because
it's funny because you say Boston,
yeah.
and yeah, okay, Tatum got hurt last year, cool. But guess what? It happened.
But they've been to what? 4 straight wars, I think.
Yeah.
I think since the bubble, they've played each other in the playoffs every year.
No, it's here. And it's not like, back to the Philly thing quickly. When Joel Embiid said, It's not a rivalry, bro. They beat our
Yeah,
ass
beat our
every
ass
year.
every time.
Every
Yeah,
time Boston does.
yeah.
But Miami and Boston,
That's a
it's like
rivalry.
real
That's a
smoke.
rivalry.
That's
This is
real
why do
hoops.
we have like Miami and Boston again? We already killed Boston.
Yeah.
Miami killed Boston
No,
already,
but they
and
never
now
do.
Boston. Now you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
my thing
true.
with Miami. Like no matter how much, like I don't believe in them. I never believe them. I don't care. Every time I watch a game, it's the worst game I've ever watched in my life. Jimmy Butler said, "Oh, it's a winning time now, playoff mode
Yep,
now."
yep.
He averaged less points per game in that span than he did in the entire
Hmm.
season. He averages 21 a game. He's
No,
awful. I
all
don't
of a
like him.
sudden, like they
Bam
unlock the door.
Adebayo is Bam
Yeah.
Adebayo is dribble hand off.
No, and
Every
listen,
time
because
they
you
want to
said
talk
that.
about him being a top 5 center,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
so mid.
Dribble handoff to who? They opened the door. Duncan Robinson's here. It's playoff time, baby. Showtime.
He about to choke it up, bro.
He's no, but like he randomly,
I don't. Is Tyler Hero out for another playoffs again?
Who? Tyler?
Tyler Hero? Is
No,
he back?
I think he's back. Like
I think last year he was gone.
Yeah, which
And
like he's
Strus
a
and
cool
them
player,
crazy.
but like yeah. Oh yeah, last year he was cooked, and that was like Gabe
Yeah.
Vincent and Strus got paid, right?
Yeah.
So
Gabe
that's the thing.
Vincent's
Like Miami's a very interesting team because I feel like some years they can be top 4 in the East, and then other years they're here. Like it's like
it's Spo. That I don't give
weird.
it. I give none of the players credit. It is Eric Spoelstra. Spo's been my guy. Spo is just such an insane.
Yeah.
He's the best coach in the NBA. It's without a doubt.
He's crazy.
He is such an insane coach. Like it's like he's the new Popovich, where Popovich, or like if you want to
winning
say,
seasons,
Mike Tomlin, like they just don't lose. Like they won't like embarrassingly lose ever.
It's a good point because for that, like we're talking about Darvin Ham, like in spite of Darvin Ham, they've made it this far, the Lakers and stuff like that, and even Steve Kerr, like it's like is he getting is he losing it, like losing either the locker room or like his play style just doesn't work anymore or whatever. But if you take Eric Spoelstra and you put him on the Lakers, or if you put him on the Warriors, I'll guarantee Warriors and are going to they go in the playoff series.
I
maybe
think Spo's biggest thing is Spo is never afraid to like try new things.
Yeah,
like
he's adapting.
He'll look at your skills. It doesn't matter what your resume is, who you
were in college.
It doesn't matter. Like he will try these things, try these players, and he's so good at scheming. Like, that's why he's so good in the playoffs, because you have 2 weeks to lock into one team, to lock into one superstar or two superstars on a team, and he can lock into them and really nitpick at them and figure out how to scheme around them. He's so good at it.
Yeah, he does.
That's why in the regular season it doesn't really work, because it's hard to do that in the regular season. When you're playing 82 games, you're playing a different team every day. But in those 16 games, the 16 games you have to win, he's so good at it. Like he's just so good at scheming. Like he'll know how to make Jason Tatum shoot 7 for 20, and Jaylen Brown force him go left. Like all that stuff.
Would you say like Spoelstra, it's like the personnel, as funny as it to say, is not it's him keeping the personnel up in this case, like
100%.
Whereas like sometimes it's the personnel keeping the coach up, which we talked about.
One thing I will say though, that team, the Miami Heat team, is not bad. It's not made, honestly. Jimmy Butler is just so underwhelming on that team. Last year he went crazy. I get it. That's why they went as far as they did, because he went crazy. Yeah. So like if you put a consistent superstar on that team, they might even go farther. They might even win something.
Here's the thing.
Put Tatum or Giannis or Embiid on that Heat team. They might go. They might win the ring. You know what I mean?
So like, okay, look, Spoelstra's been to the 2020 finals and then last year's finals, and this is the thing though. When they like his coaching or scheming is so good that it takes you that far, but when you run into one of the greatest players of all time, like that kind of level player, because that's what we're saying. Jokic is heading there, and LeBron obviously is there, and AD, like maybe people won't say he's a top like whatever player of all time.
He's still one of the greatest player of all time.
Like, at least defensively, like he's one of the greatest defensive players of all time. 100%. So that counts for something. So like, and like not to take away anything from like what Frank Vogel did and Mike Malone did last year. Frank Vogel in 2020. But it's like when he runs into that, it's like if only Jimmy and Bam can elevate their play style enough to where Spoelstra can do X and O's and like scheming. But
Yeah.
if you're just a little bit better than Jokic and Murray, we win.
Yeah,
I'm just
100%.
saying, like, but it's like,
Well, I've been
nah,
screaming it. I've been screaming
Jokic is
it. Like
cooking us.
I've been
Yeah,
screaming it. Like
yeah,
this Miami Heat team is so tailor made for LeBron. If
yeah,
you ever wanted to leave the Lakers,
bro.
you
It's sunny
know,
there too, bro. Yeah,
go
but
go back. You live there already for 4 years.
or
Go
if Spoelstra
there.
somehow can
That's
come
a
to the
nuts team.
Lakers, that'd be great too.
Trade offer Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler and Bam Adebayo for LeBron and Anthony Davis,
yeah,
and we'll send you 2027 first overall pick. All right.
yeah. No, for
So
sure.
that's our
So
regular
that's
season roundup.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
we
I
don't
was
talk
gonna do
about teams.
something. I was gonna
Yeah.
do something really quickly because like there obviously are other teams in the conferences that we're kind of like not talking about. But
11
let me
through
just
15 staying in the
11 through
freaking
15. Let me just ask you one question per, so we can just kind
yeah.
of run through them, and then we'll get into awards.
Yeah.
So I would tell you the team, and I guess we'll tell each other like outlook bright or outlook like
Yeah.
we'll see. Okay, so
Yeah.
since we're in the East, we'll go Brooklyn.
Finished. It's over. They didn't trade Mikal Bridges. They didn't trade Jordan Finney-Smith. They didn't trade Lonnie Walker. They didn't. They traded for Dennis Schroeder. That team is finished. Joe Tsai has no idea what he's doing. Sean Marks is the
The
GM.
coach is gone too, I
No
think.
idea.
Yeah. Vaughn?
Dude, Cam Thomas.
Thomas.
I think he went up like 15 points this season or something crazy like that. Like his points per game average.
Yeah.
He can't even get a peep in the media because that team is so bad. Like
Yeah.
they're 11th seed, but they have a bleaker future than the Pistons. That's what I think.
Yeah. And okay, so yeah, I think Brooklyn. Yeah, it's not a lot to go off on, to be honest. It's just like it's weird because remember when Mikal came and they had this like crazy like upstart again, and it was like
They had a week of like good games.
that
Like,
started, yeah, and then
yeah.
it's just cooked. Okay,
He's so mid. By the way. 82 games doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah,
He plays 82 games. Oh,
yeah, you put 82, and maybe you should take a break so like they can win. Maybe I don't know.
So
but, okay, our beloved Toronto Raptors, the hometown team.
Scotty Barnes is a superstar. I don't know. If not, it's over. Shout out Rahi.
No, Scotty's cool. Scotty's really good. Like he's funny because the point Scotty or whatever you want to play him as, like whatever they kind of give him, he plays well in it.
I like him. He's good, but
yeah. Yeah.
Like
obviously upside. Yeah, there's better players maybe that you'll take before you get
who's in his draft. He's the best player in this draft. Funny enough,
that's the thing. I'm sure he was rookie of the year, and he fully deserved.
Cade Mobley, shout out Mobley.
Yeah,
Cade Mobley, Jalen Green, shout out Jalen Green. But Scotty might be the best player in that draft, but that draft might be like full of like Chris Middletons.
It's true because So but like I think they do have a future because they have like the RJ Barretts and Quickly and the Scotty Barnes and all that stuff. But it's like what you're gonna do with the pieces, and are you gonna see what you talked about the Nets about? You guys should have traded them when their value was up because you could have fleeced a team or something.
Well, that's my biggest problem with the Raptors.
I'm not saying Scotty Barnes is like tradable, but I named other names where it's like like if they have a peak, just don't fall in love with that peak, because I feel like the Raptors have done that. Because yes, I know not a lot of people comes to Toronto. Maybe we'll get into an episode one day where like we could just talk about the Raptors here because we're here, so we know what goes on in and out more or less.
Any teams really sitting in that from that 10 through 12 seed.
Maybe don't fall in love with your players.
10 through 12 seed or 10 through like 13 seed, and you don't have like a superstar that's injured, like Memphis,
right?
It's like,
dude, come on,
you tank, like be the butt of the league, be Detroit. We'll make fun of you.
Yeah,
but you have to. There's no other way around.
You need to go get your Ja Morant,
especially with Toronto. Like, no one's gonna come here. Like,
for the most part.
It's really hard.
We're obviously cutting a long story short here, but it's the gist of
what.
So that's the thing. Shout out Toronto. Charlotte. Oh man,
Brandon Miller,
go
LaMelo Ball.
Great.
That's it. Done.
That's it.
That's it.
Everyone else, build that up. Build it up. Give
Everybody
Grant
else,
Williams.
there's a couple of kids that are good, but it's like,
Listen, Grant Williams, assistant coach job done. Like, look, I'll clean this up right here. I think their coach Clifford. He's leaving.
he got fired. He got fired.
Which sucks
Or
because I feel like he was a
I
he's a
liked
good
him.
coach.
I liked
Yeah.
him.
It's
That team also is like, I don't know what's going on with their medical staff, but everybody just drops like flies on that team. I swear to God.
Yeah. They got the Manchester United medical
I don't know,
staff
man.
too.
I don't know if they used to so weak they could do it, but like, will they ever do it? I don't know. Shout out LaMelo Ball though. He's a beast. I think he's top 5 point guard when he's healthy.
Awesome.
But,
yeah. I think LaMelo is awesome. I think he's generational, like his talent and everything.
100%.
He's like, he's a star boy, but it's like
Brandon Miller is nuts. So.
Oh yeah, he changed his whole thing from his journey from summer league to now.
Fouled out
from like averaging 8 fouls and 6 points.
Yeah.
To Paul George is
20 a game. Yeah.
Your hero, your GOAT, Paul George. Let's go. No, like he's
Paul
good.
George
He's good.
Man.
There's something to work with, man. Okay. The Washington Wizards.
It's over.
Listen, here's a second round pick. Give Kyle Kuzma back over here.
Come back home. Let's go.
Nah, I don't know.
That's over. It's over.
Shout out. Stay where you are.
What's the kid's name? What's that kid's name? Danny Advida. I don't know what it is.
Advinja. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
He
I think he's good.
He's a hooper.
But never mind. Detroit is the next team. It shouldn't be over.
No. Finally, people have come around to Jaden Ivey. My God.
Jaden Ivey.
I saw him play live twice, and I said he passed the eye test. And look, he's passing the eye test. Oh, they did the best thing they could have done with the Killian Hayes situation, I think. So,
look, out of those 5 teams you named, I think the Pistons and the Hornets have a chance to be there next season. I'm not saying they're going to be the
kind of like
seed,
Indiana or Orlando if they kind of figure
exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's finish the West, I guess.
Yeah. This is a speed run. This.
So Houston,
an hour 30.
Yeah.
Houston, good. They'll be fine.
I think
they'll be good. They're fine. They're fine as they are.
Lowry.
I don't know.
Lowry.
Sensenberg's good. They have a lot of good role places. I don't know. The West is too tough for them.
Memphis.
They'll
be fine.
Top 5 seed next season.
They'll be back. Spurs.
That's the GOAT. So in about 2 years, shout out Tossip, Spurs fan. In about 2 years, it's over. I will stop watching NBA. Hopefully, our podcast is successful enough where we don't have to talk about NBA because he will be winning everything.
Yep. Portland.
It's over. Hey, Poot. It's over, buddy. Look at the camera. It's fucking over. No, I'm just joking. I actually like Scoot Anderson, but that team sucks. That team is awful, dude.
It's just bad. It
is awful.
It's just
I don't know what the vision is on that team. And who's the coach? What's his name again?
It's Chauncey. Mr. Big Shot. The GOAT.
Chauncey.
Right there.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's our regular season roundup. Obviously, we still have to now the play-in starts, so the playoffs are pretty much kind of getting started. So thanks for joining us on, I guess, our first episode. How did it feel this morning?
It was fun, yeah. Nice little. We talked about all of our opinions. You guys can kind of see where we stand with certain teams, whatever teams we like, teams we don't.
Yeah.
You can tell us if you agree with it or not, or what you guys think of certain teams. I think our next episode, because we're kind of cutting it short here, we'll probably talk about NBA awards, and then hopefully by the time that episode happens, it'll be probably play-ins finished, so all the playoff seeding will happen.
So we'll get into that.
We'll get into the series matchups. We'll probably do a bunch of episodes for those because we kind of might go in crazy depth with these series.
Right.
But NBA awards coming up, playoff series coming up. Just a quick future thing. We're definitely gonna be talking about football, soccer, because the Prems, I think the 6 games left in the Prem.
Yeah.
The Champions League's in the quarterfinals.
It's in its good stages and it's heating up.
Everything's heating up, so we'll probably talk about that. Euros this summer, NFL draft coming up. We'll probably talk a little bit about the NFL, not too much,
Yeah.
just because we'll probably get closer in August, September. We'll talk about NFL really,
Yeah.
but for the future, these are just our plans. We kind of want to talk hoops until hoops is finished, and then we'll talk about soccer and for football until
Yeah.
the Euros is kind of finished. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for
And
joining us.
yeah, everything in between. This is the Ridgeway Pod again with your host Udo Anush, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some socials and stuff, and we'll get
Yeah,
that all sorted.
get some
But
music.
follow along on all those accounts, and yeah, thank you.
Peace
Take
out.
care. Peace.